Greetings again, MiniGT collectors. In particular, we have number 434. They keep cranking them out. Today we have the LB Liberty Walk Super Silhouette Nissan S15 Silvia number 23 from the 2021 Formula Drift Series. Okay, this brand is a sub-brand of TSM model. They make all sorts of different models, airplanes and other things. Larger scales, I believe, as well. Approved and anti-piracy hologram. Let's see, can I rip this open with my bare fingers? No! That's how weak I am. I would not make a good superhero. So this car is an homage to this car. This is one of the original 1980s Group 5 racers. Here it is next to that Skyline that's so popular. The Tomica sponsored KDR 30. And I think there's a third one that's really popular, but I forget what it is off the top of my head. But hopefully someone will make a model of it. I was actually thinking at first this model was going to be this car, because I didn't know there was a remake of it. So if MiniGT was so lucky enough to get the approval to do this, it would be fantastic. I would love to have this as a model with these Hoshino wheels and stuff. Hoshino actually is the driver of this car, I think, this original one, and then he made his own line of wheels. Okay, sorry, segue. Alright, so standard packaging, nice small box that you can actually collect, and it still protects the actual model, partially because they use rubbery mirrors as well. So the blister keeps it from getting all scratched up by the cardboard. And we'll just pop that away for now. Just compared to these photographs here. Alright, here's the more modern photo. Yeah, alright, let's... Hopefully that photo is big enough that you can kind of compare. It's hard for me to focus between the two, of course. There's a distance between them. Let's see if the side looks similar. The roof line, yeah, it looks pretty good. Very nice. Then we have a top rear. Yeah, the graphics carrying across nicely. And then we have a low rear. You'll see MiniGT is actually sponsoring the real car there on the bumper. So I think that's pretty cool. All we collectors are helping to actually sponsor real vehicles, it seems. So, very nice. I guess I'll start with the wheels. It's just kind of hard to see. I'm looking through my phone screen. I can barely see anything. They're just black, right? It's tough. But at magnification like this, you can see there's a deep dish going on. Very cool. Very similar to what I see in those photographs. And then you can see the lug nut details in the center cap. And you can see it's got the crazy like JDM stretched tire look. I don't know if that's actually accurate so much to the photographs. I mean, this is really torn, like stretching out, you know. I don't know if they need to go that far. In particular, if you look at the first photograph, the thing actually runs normal kind of sidewalls. They're going inwards a little bit like this, but not this drastically. I think the reason why they did it is they have to clear the diecast. See? It's still going to roll. That seems to be a priority with Mini GTs, that they do roll. And I do have to say, this one actually rolls as well as a Hot Wheels. I'm barely tapping that thing, and that thing just goes. Wow. Alright, so yeah, I know that's a big thing for a lot of you guys. This actually might be able to go down a track pretty fast. It actually has very little rolling resistance. I haven't noticed that in, I've noticed in some other Mini GTs there's some sort of internal drag going on. They just don't roll as nice as this one. Okay. So, very cool. So you gotta get past the tires looking a little bit odd. It is because they wanted to make it roll. I guess while we're down here, we'll just look at the bottom. It's interesting that they chose to round this instead of have it square. I guess this helps align it, but you can take it apart and repaint the interior or swap out the wheels or something like that. The brand is there. It's just weird though, again, they don't tell you what the car is. It's very strange, that practice to me. The streaks here are pretty thin for yeah, that's a metal base. So pretty thin diffuser streaks for a metal base. I don't know if there's some paint missing there. Yeah, I kind of feel like there's some black paint missing there, but yeah, yeah, black Sharpie will take that care of that in no time. Alright, so I guess we're on this side here. We have a whole bunch of sponsorship, and it's mostly tampo printed. At least all the stuff on the white bodywork is tampoed. I do believe maybe, hold on, I'm not sure if this yellow stripe is a decal or not. No, I think that's a tampo print. It's not wrinkly enough to be a decal. So I think, I'm just looking over all these graphics, I think everything on there is actually paint and not a decal that's going to fall off or crack. So very nice. This is the way it should be done. I don't understand, like, a lot of these brands, like Inno64 and Tarmac, they love using decals, but it's just horrible. It creates air pockets, they crack. It's not good for longevity, or it's not good for even touch the model. Maybe that's why they come on those plastic bases. They don't want you to touch the model. But MiniGT's spanning the realm of toys, where you can actually play with this, and yet it looks like a model. So it's very cool. Alright, well, we're back to this side. Anything different? I don't think so. The door handle there, molded enough. Molded details are nice enough. There's like silver paint here on the side sill. But being a Liberty Walk kit, it's actually coming out quite a bit from the standard car. And then back here we have a vent detail. It actually goes in a little bit, and pleasantly there's actually black paint in there. That's hard to get paint that deep in there. This is all blanked off though, of course, so that's too bad that they weren't able to do the same on this side. Maybe it has to do with the casting process. And then we have the trademark rubbery mirrors, I think. They're so short though. Yeah, they are rubbery, but even if they're rigid, I don't think they would break very easily because the body is wider than the mirrors. And then also there's a little bit of a recess there, so it might be easy to get some silver paint in there. Alright, the side windows, they're very glossy. It looks like it's just one surface, but they printed on the black out here in this section here. And then the windshield, we have some tiny raised wiper blades, and then some more blackout printing, but also with the Formula Drift banner there. Whole bunch of nice sponsorship here, again all tampo printed, very cool. And then we have some ribbing here for the venting of the radiator. And then typical of MiniGT, we have the nice clear lenses, and then we actually have some details behind them. It looks like there's silver, there looks like there's a divider wall there. And it looks like there's a light bulb there, maybe 3 light buckets back there. So very cool, a lot of depth there. A separate, yeah, I guess that's plastic. Yeah, that must be a separate piece of plastic. I do feel like the pattern's jacked up though. Like it's not straight, it was all squiggly. That side, this was straighter, so this was pulled and it didn't cool off properly, you know, it was still too hot when it came out of the mold. Yeah, nice ribbing there. Sounds like it's plastic. We got this totally impractical chin lip here, yeah, but it's nice, nicely printed. This side we saw already. So now we got the clear tail lights. So we have a lens and the blackout of the molding, and then behind it, it's pretty far back there, the light as well. It's painted red and silver. So there's a lot of stages going on just to make this light. It's nice. A flat surface with a graphic. I don't know if this is the fuel filler, and obviously that's probably venting. It's nice to see something in the license plate area, and it's good that they got their own logo correct. It'd be funny if they didn't. And then, I don't know, this whole wide body is a separate piece. Is it on top of a regular casting? At least the back is, but the front, no, it's definitely this is part of this. I was thinking for a moment they might actually have a normal Silvia, and then they literally grafted on these other parts. But no, the front end is all, even this bumper is part of this. Oh, that's a blemish right there, a big casting chunk there. That's probably where it flowed into the mold. So that's too bad. No, reminds me of Hot Wheels. The wing is relatively thin. Unfortunately, it's not quite level. It seems to be canted that way. I'm wondering if there's an air gap somewhere here. Not really. I don't know what the deal is with that. Why that is the case. Oh well. And then blackout printing there. Let's see. I think I'm going to open it up. Yeah, because I can actually access the screws. So hold on, let me back out. Take a look at this interior. And in the real photo, it seems to have a yellow roll cage and a black interior. Oh, there's an exhaust tip, I think, right there. I can see it sticking out just a tiny bit. Maybe it's like a turbo dump. Did I mention this thing has a 4-rotor engine? It's over 1,000 horsepower. It's not a inline engine, it's a rotary, about 4 rotors, so that is not a Nissan product. It's a Mazda engine, or a bunch of Mazda rotaries. Alright, construction-wise, we got a bunch of pins pressing up the glass there, and then, yeah, melt spots for these parts back here. Interesting. Yeah, interesting. And then, yeah, we do have a roll cage. It's just not painted yellow. I think that's acceptable because look at all the printing on every side of this car. You know, that costs money. So I am happier that they concentrated on the outside of the car than the inside that you really don't even look at more than once. At least I don't. And then since it's screwed together anyways, you can go and paint this thing yellow if you wanted to. I don't know if I want it yet. Yeah, just standard molded details. Perfectly fine. I'm just looking at the roll cage. I'm wondering how easy it is to take out. If it's definitely a separate piece. So it probably would be pretty easy to paint. Maybe it's more, I think it's glued down there. I'd have to scratch this glue off to get it out. Okay, well, let me think about that one. So the wheels are just resting in this on the base plate and not in on the interior part so much. I'm just wondering why this thing rolls so well. It's just resting on that surface and being trapped by those 2 posts on either side, and then it's trapped by this thing here. Maybe it is. Yeah, I guess maybe the axle is resting in here as well. So this is, I don't know. This thing rolls really well. I usually don't care about that stuff, but maybe you guys are changing my ways. Yeah, this side of the car, I don't see an exhaust dump or a turbo dump. This side definitely has it. Okay guys, if you're going to modify this thing, couple tips. The interior. I have one of these knives. You can buy this off AliExpress for like $1, so I bought 3 of them. And they come with extra blades too. So it's quite a good deal. Anyways, I sat there and I scraped this off and I cannot see any hole. The glue totally sealed that roll cage into the hole. So what I ended up doing is just taking this small knife and I jammed it in here and I cut it right there and cut it right there. You can see maybe the remnants of the post. But with such a high interior piece, you'll never see that anyways. So that's how I got this roll cage out. I primed it first, so the yellow should stick to that primer. And then, yeah, I guess it's not going to go into those middle holes, but the end holes, it will. So we'll just pop that down there, and there, and the back ones. Maybe you should get the back ones in first, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, that might be a smarter way. Alright, so, I mean, it's going to be trapped by the interior. So I think that's going to work out pretty nice. There you go. Yeah, I like it. I almost feel like the cage is a little too squished though. Let's see if I put that in properly. I did. Yeah, the 4 ends are in there. So possibly that has to do with the fact that I clipped it and the tension is gone. Maybe it, yeah. Oh well. I guess you'd have to grind out those holes if you really wanted that thing to be higher up, I guess. But for me, it's too late. I'm not going to buy another one. And then as usual, I'm going to put in my little disc brakes here. It seems like this image, it has some slotted rotors here. And conveniently, the hole size actually matches up perfectly for me today. No need for glue, no need for filing. And the axle here has a fluted end. Of course it falls out of my hand. So the fluted end means you could just pull it straight out. You don't need to really twist it if you don't want to. If it was knurled, I would suggest twisting it, but putting it on, I do, well, I guess you can twist it. I think it helps. Alright. Yeah, the rotors are in the sleeping is correct. I get the screw together. And then I really suggest use a hand screwdriver. You'll strip out the die-cast threads, I think. Trying to find that thread. Alright, one last bit. And that's the good old black Sharpie to cover up the lack of black paint here. Oddly, black Sharpie is actually purple. It's just really dark. So from the front at least you can see those roll cage bars look pretty good. The side one, yeah, maybe not so great. But the rear, you can kind of see the cross pattern there. I think that rear window might be tinted maybe. It's hard to say. Let me get some other Silvias up on that spin thing. I think we should start by looking at a few Silvias, and then we'll get into some Liberty Walk body kit cars. So here's a Silvia, what is this thing though? It's an S14, so previous generation. This is by Tarmac Works Global. Let me make sure. Yeah, it is Tarmac Works Global. And I think for the price it's pretty good. You can unscrew it, which I did, and repaint the interior, so I like it. Pretty crazy green, although it takes a lot of green to cover up the casting. It looks a little bit blobby because of that. So to the credit of MiniGT, I mean, this is a white car, and yet it doesn't look like it's overladen with paint. The panel gaps are still pretty crisp by the door there, so I don't know if they primed it first or what, but it's pretty good. Alright, another, let's see, another S14, but this time by Diecast Masters and / BM Creations. You can steer this one, and it also came, I think, with optional wheels. You can lower the ride height. And then, so now we have an S15 by BM Creations or Diecast Masters. Just reading the bottom, I think it's Diecast Masters. And so again, you can steer the wheels, and this one has the aftermarket ones on it, and it's lowered, I believe. So these two are S15s, the other ones are S14s, the previous generation. So this is a silhouette racer, meaning the canopy and the doors should be the same. Which they do look pretty much the same. The windows look the same size, even though they're different brands. Okay, let's get rid of these guys and start getting to the Liberty Walk stuff. So here's an older Silvia, I believe from 1979, and this is from Aoshima, part of their Grachan car collection. So yeah, all the Grotchen cars from Aoshima have Liberty Walk body kits on them. So I have a bunch of other Nissans. Here's a Bluebird from 1983. This next one is a Nissan Cedric 330 from 1977. And this next one is a Nissan Leopard from 1980. And not too long ago, this TLV of the Skyline from the very first image I showed in this video. So that's why it'd be cool if someone went and made the original version of this, and then also the third car, which I again forgot what it is. It's probably a Bluebird. So, very impractical looking vehicles that Liberty Walk makes. You got a trail of these guys. Driving this on a public road, you're gonna lose that chin spoiler, right? But anyways, it's ridiculous, and I think that's why I like it. And if you're watching this video, maybe that's why you like it too. So for today, MiniGT has another outstanding product. No quality control problems that I can recall. Everything's nicely done. And then the fact that you can unscrew it, that's the beautiful thing about this brand. So, oh, okay, there was a casting issue there. That's one thing I missed. Luckily, it's not too unsightly, so I'm still pretty happy with this one. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next MiniGT video. Drift on.